Hello, it is 1 o'clock in here in the UK where I'm based. I'm just going to move my camera back because as soon as I go live, it comes so much closer in. And yes, I am live. I am live as every week in my group here, Happiness, Health and Hygge. And today I am talking about the importance of play. So the regular ones amongst you might have noticed I've changed the setup. Basically, because summer has hit big time. I can't control the amount of sunlight that comes into my room at the moment, so I've had to move things around a tiny bit. And also to just kind of get more air where I am. So, if you're watching this live, as always, don't forget to let me know that you're here, either by doing a little hashtag live, send me an emoji, send me a question maybe on today's topic about play. Or if you're watching on replay, don't forget to put a little hashtag replay, again, emojis, questions, whatever. The way it works is that more people become aware of this video if you guys engage with it. And I think this is a very, very important topic, which links in so much with the whole concept of happiness, hygge, and also health. So yes, it's summer and it's kind of the key time to play, really. Soon the kids will be on holiday, even if you haven't got kids, maybe you're planning your summer holiday. And it's the time of year, especially this month of July, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, where we tend to take a break from it all, and often there is a focus and emphasis on play. But what I'm talking about today is really not something that's determined by the season, but it gives me a good excuse to talk about it. So when I talk about play, you might wonder what I'm talking about. A lot of people think, oh, this is something to do with children. Children play, don't they? And I will argue that not only children should play, adults play as well, but we sometimes forget to, or maybe sometimes we forget that it is play. And again, it can sometimes create a bit of an uneven, excuse the pun, playing field. So let me first of all talk about what I actually mean by play. So, Dr. Stuart Brown, founder of the National Institute of Play, he equates play as something done for its own sake. So basically, something that isn't imposed on you, but something you do out of your own free will, and something that's fun for you, and also that takes you out of the concept of time. In other words, something that makes you forget time, maybe even space, but at least time. And we all know, we all have activities, I'm sure, where we do that. And then afterwards we go like, whoa, where did that time go? Or, it's the saying is often, time flies when you're having fun. And that is exactly it. The act of play is basically important, the important bit, and it's not working towards an end goal. There is not any thing that needs to be achieved at the end of it. It is basically doing something for the sake of it because it is fun to do. It's a process of enjoyment, and that is basically the reason that we're doing it. Now, in Danish, we have two words for it. And yeah, that thing, it kind of says a lot that we have two words about it in Danish. And I think in the Scandinavian countries especially, there is a huge emphasis on play, not just for children, but for grown-ups. It is something that we do all our lives. Now, we do tend to have two words for it. And one is spil, which can be kind of no, it's play, but it's often a type of playing that will have some rules or some boundaries. So often it can be like a game of a sort, where there's like some certain rules that you need to abide to by. And then we've got the word lege, which means play, which is actually partly where the word Lego comes from, because Lego comes from the two Danish words Leitgott means play well or playing good. And that is more the creative type of play. So we've got creative play, which has got no rules, and you just basically you can be pick things out of the air, be as creative as you like. And then we have got the play version, which is more used in regards to anything that will have rules and some kind of, how should we say, yeah, boundaries around it of what you can and cannot do. And it's, I think the thing is, in Scandinavian culture, I think because we have those two words, and there's not just in Danish that we have those two words, but I'm speaking from a Danish perspective here. It that kind of makes it a bit. I'm speaking from a Danish perspective here. It that kind of makes it a bit clearer as well why it's important that grown-ups as well as children play. Now, there's a lot of research, obviously, about play in early childhood. And I think the whole way that the Scandinavian learning module, I mean, there is not one, there's like every country has its own thing, but they're all steeped in the same thing, is that it should not be um, prescriptive. Learning should be fun, and we know as adults as well that if it's something that we really enjoy, we're going to be enjoying that process so much more. And I think because we also live in the type of world that we do now, where it's quite stressful. The beauty of the information age is obviously that we have a lot of information coming our way. We have a lot of decisions to make every single day. We are processing more information than at any other time in human history. And it means that it pushes up stress levels. And play is a great stress reliever. But play has got more functions than that. Actually, play is essential for our physical as well as our mental well-being. And also, play is actually shown in scientific studies to improve brain function. And as the saying goes, you should play throughout all your life, or play keeps you young. That is very much true, because the research shows that when we do play, not only does it improve our memory, but also it helps with problem solving. It helps in stimulate the growth of brain cells in our brain. My computer is just telling me it's getting very hot, so I'm just going to try and move it a tiny bit here so I don't get so much sun on it. Oh my goodness, the fan's going like mad. I hope you can't hear it. Okay, so I'm moving you closer in again. Okay, so yes, so it releases, basically play releases endorphins, which is the feel good hormone, but it does so much more than just make you feel good. It is a key element in our physical and mental well-being. So, what is play really? How do you define play for a grown up, you might wonder? Well, playing is anything, as I said, that really takes you out of the whole concept of time, and that you will do just for the sake of enjoyment. It's going to be different for everyone. Some people like knitting, like my grandmother. Her thing was crocheting, knitting, and being in the garden. Okay, so absolutely no end goal in sight. Yes, she would be doing also like clothes and things like that for dolls, but it wasn't because it was so much the end goal that was going to be it. She did it because it was fun. Other people might have other activities. I mean, my son is into a big coloring phase at the moment, and I find it's so enjoyable to sit and just do coloring in with him. And I know there's been a whole explosion of that industry as well, with coloring books for grown-ups. But again, it can be anything really that really takes you out of the here and now, where you can engross yourself just for the enjoyment of it. And if you're ever in doubt of what, play would look like for you, or maybe you're looking for new inspiration as for what it could be for you, then there's a very good way of doing that for grown-ups, and it's very simple. All you do is think back to when you were a child, because when we are younger and we are not, how should we say, conditioned so much by society, we allow our creativity, and that is play is very much linked to creativity. We allow that to blossom. And as we go through life, often there is an emphasis on doing things in a certain way, or being maybe more goal orientated, or being more focused in the way that we do things, and not waste our time. I hear that a lot. People going like, why would you waste your time doing that? Well, it's not a waste of time if you are enjoying it and it's helping you become better physically, mentally, and so on. And actually, also, another very important bit of play that I haven't really mentioned is the fact that it can help with human relationships, it can help with a sense of community. So, play is really something that can help us connect and bind us together with other people. And it only takes someone to look at children and a playground, children that have never met each other before. If they both enjoy playing with sand, all of a sudden you have them playing together. And it's not that they're going to form a long lasting relationship, but they are basically learning how to make connections, and it's around creativity and play. And the same thing goes for grown-ups. Often through play, we find it easier to make those connections, and it helps us feel good when we do those kind of things as well. So it doesn't mean that all play activity needs to be something that's done on its own, like knitting or colouring in. Obviously, there's knitting circles, so obviously, again, people getting together. It might also be that you prefer things where you can go and socialize at the same time. As many of you will know, I'm also a dancer and a dance teacher, and a big part of that is being willing to basically play as well, and being open to the process. Yes, people come thinking they want all sorts of things, and they probably do. You want to learn a new skill, you want to maybe become physically more fit, but on top of that, you also get the enjoyment of just playing. And people always say to me, where did that hour go? And one of my favorite things that I do when I teach is also to actually put a bit of a play element in there, where people have to go and interact. And again, it's around the element of play that we often, as grown-ups as well, find it easier to make connections. And if you've got a family, hopefully you do utilize this already, because it's a key thing for a family. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, a family that plays together stays together. And I will say, it doesn't just go for a family, it goes for anyone. If you play together, you're likely to stay together because you form those kind of bonds. And also, as a family, often, and I'm just speaking again from my own self here, we get very much caught up in the day-to-day life. So, the functionalities of, like, and then we get up and we have breakfast and you go to school and you do the work and I do that and we come home and we do this, and it's all routine based. But there needs to be an element of play in there. So, for example, with my son, I'm very adamant that he gets up early enough in the morning so that we can have a play together before the day actually starts, starting from a creative point of view. And actually, something that I recommend to my clients as well, in order to just kind of in the morning before, how should we say, the constrictions and the conventionality of everyday life kicks in, allow your brain, allow your heart, allow your full self just that enjoyment of play. Even, and now I'm contradicting myself, but even if it means that you have to set a timer, so that you can just take 10-15 minutes to do something that you really enjoy, and then you can go and get on with the rest of your day and hopefully come back and there'll be other little pockets of play throughout your day. I'm just going to have a look at my note because I made lots of notes and I've completely not stuck to them and just gone off as I normally do. Yes, so we all have different ways of playing, just as we're different people, we've got different ways of playing. So I think sometimes people again like to categorize how we should play, and I just want to say that again, it's finding something that you enjoy, because there's no point in trying to cotton on to the latest trend of doing something like, I don't know, like I mentioned the coloring books for adults, for example. um, it's all about kind of going by what you really enjoy to do. And if you get completely stuck, then I do hope that you have some children around you, because actually viewing the world and the magical world of creativity and creative possibility through a child's eyes is amazing. And as I've already said, children are, especially in the young age, it's all about the exploring. It's finding things. Kids will knock up towers, and it's not about building the towers. It's the process, and then it's knocking it down and doing it again. It's very much learning through doing. And yes, we learn through doing, but also sometimes it's about just having fun with it. And it's allowing ourselves to do that. Like I say, I think in Nordic countries, there's probably more of an emphasis on being allowed to do that all your life. That because again, the language is different around playing and creativity. So embracing that and knowing that it's not a frivolous thing to do, it's not something that wastes time. It's actually something that's an integrated part of us and that we need to remember to do every single day, because not only does it improve our life quality and everything else, it keeps us healthy, it keeps us living for longer. And if anything, I think it also keeps us very much younger. And what is life if not for, to have a bit of fun and play as well? So that was a whisk through of today's topic, all about play. If you have got any questions or comments on this, don't forget to leave them below. I will do my best to answer them. But yeah, I will also just put a question out there for you if you're watching this. It's like, what are you going to do today? So what's your type of play going to be today? Is it going to be like something that you've already decided you're going to do, or are you going to take some time out to see what comes up? So I know I'm going to take my son into the garden for a big water fight. That's already planned, and then after that, I have no idea what's going to happen. But as I say, it's very hot here today. So hot that the kids were told the older kids don't have to wear a tie to school. So there you go. Must be hot here in the UK. So yeah, have fun with it and explore. And I think if you can, then set some time aside to actually play and have fun. And you might just surprise yourself as to not only how it makes you feel, but also how it's going to improve not only your outlook on life and the rest of the day, but also your connections with the people around you. I hope you have a lovely, playful week ahead. Take care. Bye bye.